Hey everyone, today we're going to tour this small fixer-upper that's going to cost a ton of money to remodel because it needs everything. As usual, I'm going to break down the acquisition numbers at the end of the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel to see the after video when it's completed. This 80-year-old home is in a desirable part of town, but there's not much curb appeal right now. The lawn is dead and the plants are not doing so great either. I mentioned before that I usually look to the neighbors on the front yard landscaping, and the neighbors here are telling me that drought-resistant plants are the way to go. The asphalt driveway is wrecked with large cracks all over. We have to repave it, unfortunately, and it's going to cost $8,000. This is not the only concrete work that we have to do here. I'm going to show you a lot more of it, and that contributed to the large renovation budget. This awning serves kind of like a carport, but it's unsightly, and we're definitely going to tear it down. We're also going to replace the garage door that doesn't even close anymore. On the main house, we're going to replace the roof, the gutters, and the single pane windows. The brick retaining wall is falling apart, and the metal railing here is of a traditional style. Both of them have to be replaced, and we're definitely going to repaint the exterior to get rid of the tired look. Now let's tour the interior. The focal point of this living room is the fireplace that's in the corner. It has a lot of old world charm, and I plan to keep it to maintain the character of the home. You probably have noticed that the ceilings are slightly coved, which is a nice feature. There's actually hardwood floors underneath this blue carpet, so it's an easy decision to refinish it. We're going to put in new baseboards and trim to give this interior an update. This floor radiator is very outdated and it will be replaced with a central furnace. Right next to the living room is the dining room. There's an old school chandelier that may date back all the way to the 1940s when this home was originally built. Under the blue carpet here, there's also wood floors that can be refinished, so it's an easy task. On the other hand, the kitchen can be a big deterrent to buyers because it's so small and closed off. There's very little upper and lower cabinets and not much counter space at all. What made it worse was this doorway to the garage that's bulging out and taking up the already scarce space. I can replace the countertops and the cabinets easily to update the look, and we can also remove this wall that's not load-bearing to open up the space, but I can't make room out of thin air. So I decided to actually switch the kitchen with the dining room so I have more space to expand the kitchen. We're also going to make this opening to the living room a little bigger so that we can improve the flow. I want to quickly mention the garage because there's a lot of work to do here as well. Usually on my flips, we just clean it up and call it done, but we're not so lucky here. First of all, the steps leading to the garage are crooked and they're not up to code, so we'll have to redo them. This concrete slab is completely shot with a big bulge in this area and a huge crack. We're going to have to redo the concrete slab, and it's going to cost about $6,000. Doing it together with the driveway will save a little bit money, which is nice. The garage is already pretty tight, even to fit a regular sized car. So we're going to remove all the shelves to make a little more room, but unfortunately there's not much else we can do. Before I show you more of this small fixer-upper that needs a huge renovation, smash the like button below and subscribe to the channel. It's going to allow you to see more interesting before and after videos like this. If you're interested in flipping houses, I recently launched my book, Flipping Houses Quick Start Guide. It's available for purchase on Amazon and it covers pretty much every aspect of house flipping. Pick up a copy today. This house is very narrow and long, and all the bedrooms and bathrooms are towards the back. This first bedroom has wood panels all over it and it looks very dark. We're going to remove the wood paneling and retexture the walls. We'll also replace the light fixture, remove the carpet. This room has its own walk-in closet, which is a nice feature. There's a window and a door leading to the backyard here, but because there's another door from the hallway going to the backyard right next to it, we're actually going to remove this door and make this a huge window instead. This second bedroom really tricked me. You come in from the hallway here, and then you go up a couple steps and you are back in the hallway again. When I first came here, I thought this room was not going to work because of the step down. And then I realized that there are actually two doors to this room, and this second door is completely unnecessary, and we can just wall it off and call it done. And other than that, this room is all standard. We just need a new light, new window, new closet door, new paint, and new floors. At the end of the hallway, there's a step up that leads to the rest of the home that I believe was added on later. There's a guest bathroom and a primary bedroom. We also have the doorway that leads to the backyard here that we're going to talk about later. In this guest bathroom, it's pretty small, which is typical in the Bay Area, but the layout is also odd. The door opens to the toilet, and when you are inside, you have to squeeze in here in order to close the door, which is awkward. It looks nice that the countertop seems big, but then you realize that you have to squeeze in between the toilet in order to access this area. After we did some measurements, we realized that the countertops here are also not up to code. They are about 4 inches too shallow. So we came up with a few options to redesign the layout here. And the best one we settled on is to make this sink a 36-inch sink instead and move the toilet next to the sink. We also have to shrink this door from 28-inch to 24-inch in order to make the countertops deeper. The primary bedroom is large and all pink. Other than the usual scope of work and a new color scheme, I had my focus on the closet space and the ensuite. There's a standard closet along this wall that goes from wall to wall, but it looks smaller because of this smaller closet door. So we want to make the opening a little bigger to fit in a larger closet door to showcase the closet space. And there's actually another closet right outside the master bathroom. The closet here is only using this little space, and I immediately noticed that this whole area is dead right now, but it can be used to either enlarge the closet or the master bathroom. Without boring you with the whole thought process, very quickly, I'm going to show you how we want to change the layout. The master bathroom is pretty much a mirror of the guest bathroom, so the reconfiguration will be very similar. We're going to move the toilet next to the vanity and push out this wall by a few inches so we can fit a bigger vanity here and also make the shower a little bigger. And over here, we're going to put in a smaller pocket door. And then the rest of this area will become a new walk-in closet. So it's actually 2 birds, 1 stone. The house is on almost a 7,000 square foot lot, which is big per Bay Area standards. And the backyard is pretty large. You may not be able to tell yet because there are 3 different levels and there's a lot more space behind the fence in the back. But it's going to take a lot of work to make this space functional and appealing. Let's start from the first level, this patio. The awning is very low, which makes the area feel claustrophobic. So we're going to remove it and open it up. The concrete here is extremely uneven, and we're going to have to redo it, which will be expensive. There's a big tree on the second level here that did a number to the retaining wall and the steps. So we're going to have to completely redo this area and make new steps that are up to code. On this first terrace level, there's not much going on right now other than the 2 big trees. So we're going to keep the trees and add some new landscaping. And we definitely need to remove that doghouse over there, which is unsightly. On this third level, you can see that the bricks are separating on the steps. That needs to be repaired. And we're also going to remove this big ugly plant and do some smaller plants here. And we'll likely add some concrete around this area to make a second patio space. This basketball hoop is very sketchy and it needs to be removed. The PVC railings is a safety hazard and it has to go. Behind this fence in the back, there's actually a big area that's not currently used. We have a shed here and some junk and some ugly plants, but this area can be used as more storage or entertaining. It just needs some new landscaping and some junk removal. Now I've shared with you the main scope of work of this project. Let's walk through the entire home to check out the flow. Right after this, I'll share my acquisition numbers. Don't miss it. Now let's get to the numbers. I purchased this fixer-upper for $1.5 million, and I thought the rehab would cost around $150,000 because it's 1,200 square feet with 3-bedroom, 2 baths. But the actual rehab cost came out to about $80,000 more than my estimate, and it blew me away. The rehab cost here on this small flip is actually higher than the cost on a lot of my larger flips, and it came out to about $180 a square foot. The good thing is the ARV is about $2.2 million, so there's still a good margin of about $300,000. We're going to give this home a much needed facelift, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see it. If you enjoyed this fixer-upper tour, smash the like button below, and thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. It has a lot of old work old world charm, and this access because it doesn't need two access to this room. But the actual renovation cost came out to about $8,000. But the actual $8,000.